I don't know, just helping all the other kids that get ill. And obviously like research as well, just finding new cures, and it's the most important thing in the world, isn't it?
Toma Fund is a charity that was set up after losing our son Jordan to leukaemia. Jordan's dream was to help make a difference and to make everybody's life, children's life, cancer journey more bearable, and helping the families as well who struggled through, you know, financial reasons, whatever, you know, they encountered. What he said to me was he wanted to make a difference. And make what his dream was a reality.
Everyone's trying to get like through like the hard thing that is cancer, so I suppose you've just got loads of stuff in common with people.
The Toma Fund understands what people like me are going through, so they know like what to say to help you when you're going through your hard times.
The Toma Fund kept us going when everything else seemed to stop.
The Toma Fund stepped in really, really quickly and couldn't do enough for us because they weren't just there to support us with buying the equipment. They became friends and they became part of our journey.
If the Toma Fund is watching this, I hope I want to say thank you for all that you did for me, my family, and for the great memories at Florida.
The Toma Fund was set up in memory of our son Jordan. His little cousin Sophie, aged 2, also lost her battle to this terrible disease. So, you know, when that happened as a family, we just thought, well, why not make such a awful, negative, you know, thing that we had to go through as a family into a positive and carry on and make Jordan's dream a reality. And we're now helping other children and families going through, you know, what, as I've said, what we are going through in the northeastern Cumbria.
The Toma Fund is a local charity, and that makes them really special, especially because Andrea has been through it herself and understands what many of our families are having to go through. The fact that we're able to call up and speak to somebody and explain what a family's circumstances are and to put a request in for some extra support for them really makes that big difference. Most families, their income goes down after a child is diagnosed because they're spending the majority of time in hospital or looking after their child.
Since I was diagnosed, I've been in and out for 14 weeks and I've got to go back in. But the Toma Fund have helped us because they got us an iPad to help me boredom when I was in hospital. And it's helped us keep in touch with my friends and FaceTime me auntie who lives in Canada and things like that. It's helped us get through the day, really.
Until you're in the situation where you need that help, you don't realise how important it is. And like charities like the Toma Fund, which are small and localised charities, really do try and help the people in that area as best they can.
Because Philippa was a baby when she was diagnosed, we couldn't associate with other children we didn't know, because the chances of her catching a childhood illness were increased and her body wouldn't be capable of fighting that illness. So things like chickenpox would mean sometimes ending up in intensive care. And our garden that we had was a very small space. The whole idea of us moving house was to have somewhere for Philippa and to have a beautiful outdoor space for her. And just so she had a safe place to play. So the Toma Fund stepped in and helped us buy garden equipment, because moving house is financially draining as it is, but then when you haven't got a lot of pennies it's harder. So the Toma Fund, we approached them to help us get play equipment for Philippa, and they very quickly stepped in, and it just gave her such a beautiful place to play, and it meant we had somewhere all where we could build memories that we wouldn't have before.
On June the 19th, my mum finished her treatment. So she had chemotherapy and radiotherapy. The day she finished was the day I found out. I got the phone call about myself, and it was a very tough phone call to take. I think it was quite blunt. It was like, right, you've got a brain tumour. We can't operate on it. We can treat it, but we can't operate on it.
We used the car for Scott and for myself to get to the treatment to the Freeman on the RVI. And then it just stopped. When we found out how much the car was going to cost to be fixed, the impact would have been terrible, because I relied on the car. It was a lifeline.
After every treatment, every day, it would knock us out for the rest of the day. So I'd have it like 12 o'clock and I'd just come home, go to bed. I'll come home, have some meat and just lie down for the rest of the day. So we needed the car. I fell asleep in the back of the car at times. Most of the last 3 weeks, which was quite tough. But yeah, we got pushed in the direction of the Toma Fund. They helped straight away, not even a question. They said, right, you need help with this, and this is how much you need. And within days, the car was fixed and I was back falling asleep in the back of the car.
Carl was diagnosed in May 2011 with Hodgkin's lymphoma. I just didn't know how I was going to tell him, especially with him having autism as well. We were booked to go to Florida before Carl was diagnosed. When Carl was diagnosed, the consultant told us that we couldn't go. So we had to end up cancelling the holiday. When he was in remission, we asked the consultant if we could go back, and he said, yeah. We tried to get insurance for Carl, and it was going to cost £1,400. Just far too much, just couldn't afford it. So that's when Andrea from the Toma Fund stepped in, and we're just so delighted that she did that for Carl, yeah. It's made a difference to us as a family. You know, we did get to Florida in the end, and thanks to the Toma Fund, we got there and had the most amazing time ever.
I thought it was the greatest time of my life. I think my family very enjoyed it.
Since becoming an independent registered charity, the Toma Fund has come on leaps and bounds. In the last year alone, we've helped up to 100 families and children going through cancer. We have huge plans for the future, but you know, it goes without saying we couldn't do what we do or do what we're planning to do in the future without the regular support and regular donations that we receive. It's hard to describe how I feel, you know, with the donations and support that we do get. Whether it's £1, £2, £10 or £100, it makes a difference. And I can't thank people enough for the help that we've had. As a family, I know what families deal with and have to struggle with, aside of, you know, that child fighting this disease. So I know how important it is, and if we can help that family in whatever way we can from the people that support and believe in the Toma Fund, then that makes the job done. For me, to make myself feel really proud, and for Jordan as well, to fulfil his dream. And I can't thank everybody enough. Once it happened, and I just was so positive, and I think that really helps anyone. If anyone ever gets diagnosed, like families or whatever, just to be positive, and I think that goes a long way, because automatically I thought, no, I'm going to get past this like hurdle and I'm going to carry on and do everything I've done. I think the most important advice, as I've already said, is just to be positive and have a laugh. And I know it's really hard to have a laugh and stuff, but just have a laugh, be positive, and hopefully it'll all come good in the end.